Welcome back to the Kuriboh Championship Cup Season 3. This is going to be Week 6, which means it is against someone from the other division, and that is Shiny, coach of TSX1 Sniffer Dragons. Just so everyone knows, the league has been pushed back by like a week, so Week 7 will not be done this week, even though this match is late. It will be done next week. So expect the video to be next Friday. Without further ado, Shiny, his draft consists of Dogmatica, Magical Musketeers, DDD, Buster Blader, Sacred Beasts, and Fossils as his decks, and then as his staples, Nibiru, Trap Trick, DD Crow, and Change of Heart. So looking at his draft, in previous games he's played usually leads off with either Dogmatica, Buster Bladers, or DDD. And usually second he goes Magical Musketeers, and then for the third game he plays the one he didn't play in first game. So with this in mind, my strategy is to go with, well, just in general with his draft, I am thinking of bringing Crusadia first. So if he does decide to bring his Dogmatica, I should be pretty safe with Crusadia with the spell cards that give protection, as well as getting enough attack points so that he cannot use Dogmatica punishment, since Crusaders can get really strong in the attack power, so he can't send something with higher attack to get rid of them as easily. So let us get into the duels. So first game, like I said, bringing Crusadia, very safe against his draft, and as you can see, he decides to play his Dogmatica Magical Musketeers. He wins the rock, paper, scissors and decides to go first, which is for any opponent not that good against me, because my draft is like going second the draft. So yeah, he decides to go first, creating Magical Musketeer Max so that he can get his Ecclesia effect. I just popped his board with Kaiju Slumber, giving him Gamma Seal, and then I decide to combo off, making sure that Arborea is in the grave for protection for later, because I did see him get the Dogmatica punishment. Crusadia Equimax, use power to protect Maximus because I needed to activate its effect. He cannot target Equimax because there's nothing with that much attack, and as you can see, he tries to pop my Equimax, but because of Arborea, it is protected. And then I use Maximus to double my damage and just swing into Gamma Seal for game. Winning on the first turn. Going into the second set, I am fully expecting to go first, which is fine. Setting out my going second card, such as Lightning Storm, as well as Kaiju Slumber, as well as the Kazuma. Sadly, this is not that good of a hand since I have two Maximus and two Formwood Skippers. Usually if I have a Formwood Skipper, I don't like to see two of the same Crusadia monsters. Usually seeing two is fine because you can just normal summon and then use the second special summon, but since I am normal summon with Skipper, I cannot combo off as hard since I will only have one of them to special summon. So yeah, going first, summon Formwood Skipper, use it to get a higher link Crusadia so that I can summon Magus since it does need a Crusadia monster. Searching for protection. Luckily, Parallel Exceed from Formwood Skipper gives me some plays. Just keep on comboing here. Sadly, I was kind of hoping he did not have Nibiru in hand, but he does. But that is fine because with the monsters I have enough defense that is over 3,000. Sadly, he does have Magical Musketeers Desperado, and gets rid of it, and then he just sets up a strong enough board to take me out in one go, so I don't have follow-up plays. I'm not sure if Crusadia power prevents the Crusadia monster from being destroyed by Nibiru, but even then I would still probably be in a tough situation. So going into game 3, of course I get to choose, and of course I want to go second, setting in my going second cards again. Luckily for me, he kind of worked with his hand, but even then I still had Crusadia power in my starting hand as well as Ouroboros, so I do have protection from anything he could possibly do with destruction. And yeah, I just start link climbing into Ecomax, and yeah, double the damage, and then create Mech Crusadia Avermax. For following turns, since I do have protection in my graveyard and he doesn't really have anything that can go into it, since all his things usually like to special summon. Luckily for me, Crusadia Avermax's attack gaining effect is not just special summon from extra deck, it's just special summon in general, and I'm able to feel that since he has no real plays in his hands. He just decides to knock himself out on my Avermax. He probably could have had a play if with Crusadia to get Dogmatic Punishment, but he did not have anything with 3,000 attack or more in his extra decks, so he could not get rid of Avermax for that. As well as still protected by its own effect, as well as my other Crusadia monster in my graveyard. Going into game 2, I know he still has DDD, as well as Dogmatica Buster Blader as his possible decks. He probably could have also run Fossil, but I decide to go with my ABC since it is my strongest deck, and I have enough plays to play through whatever he has, as well as stop a lot of what he wants to do. I win this rock, paper, scissors, and I decide to go first, using my gadget engine to get 2 monsters on field, as well as unauthorized reactivation to get Union Driver for Buster Drake, so I can search see later. Get out my Union Carrier, because luckily we do not have a ban to get Photon Orbital for Galaxy Soldier, using Galaxy Soldier to send the rest of the pieces I need to the graveyard for Nova. He has DD Kuriboh though, and sends Buster Drake to banish. That's kind of fine though, since I can just equip Union Carrier to Infinity to increase its attack, as well as use a Assault Core to protect it from monsters, and then use unauthorized reactivation to get Buster Drake onto the field to also protect from spells. I decided to negate opening the Spiritual Gates because I thought he was just playing Sacred Beast, but apparently he's playing Sacred Beast as DDD. Unfortunate, I probably would have saved my negate for a later effect then. Negated it because Sacred Beasts do not have that good of plays and tend to work a lot. But with that, I do have the pieces for my Buster Drake in my graveyard. But I will still pull off for heavy mech and net. Buster Drake for IP Masquerena for later plays. Using Buster Drake, I decided to banish Gilgamesh because of its destruction effect. don't want activating. And of course I use B-Buster Drake to get out the rest of my pieces so that I can link up to Ouroboros, which is stronger than most anything that he can summon, and he does not have that many materials left. Luckily for me, he accidentally negates his own effect there. But that's totally fine. I still had plenty of plays to go with in my hand. Create Castell to pop his last monster, and then create Dragon Buster to finish him off in one attack. Game 2. He decides to go, or let me go first again, apparently. Mainly probably because DD likes to go second since it needs the extra draw. That's fine with me, because then I get to set up my board with unauthorized reactivation, equipping, and getting my pieces. Cannon Photon Orbital for Galaxy Soldier, of course IP Masquerena. And then I just use Galaxy Soldier to create Nova, as well as ABC Dragon Buster, and set up an Unbreakable board. And of course on his turn create Abramax with Yin Courier and IP Masquerena. Negate his graveyard effect, and then use Dragon Buster's effect to banish, since he does not really have any follow-up plays with the few cards in hands. He can't really fusion summon with the effect from hand. I know that for a fact. And then, yeah, dismantle his board and then swing for game. Game 3. Like I said, he usually brings the 3 same decks, and the only one he hasn't brought yet was Dogmatica Buster Blade. And that is kind of a tricky deck, so going into this game, I know I want one of my decks that can board wipe, so I go with my Cyber Dragon deck. He does win this rock, paper, scissors, and decides to go first, which is fine by me because, like I said, Cyber Dragon likes to go second with my board wipes. Lucky for me, he only gets Crusadia out on the field with punishment and sword memories. Of course, Kaiju Slumber giving him Jizuruki, because I can use it with my Cyber Dragons for Chimera Tech. And of course, Yin Courier to get out the Photon Orbital, giving me my Galaxy Soldiers. Hurts for another Cyber Dragon, so I can sack it for Galaxy Soldier. Getting Nova, he decides to banish this. Right there, I thought that maybe I could get enough attack to go over, but sadly it activates based off of the attack when I use that, so I do not get that. Right here, I attack with Cyber Dragon, and then he uses Memory to get this. For some reason, after this, I could not end my battle phase after saying I'm not continuing with Cyber Dragon, so I lose my board, which is very confusing to me. If anyone knows why I could not end my battle phase after he summoned his Destruction Swordmaster, please tell me. And yeah, so this is looking dire. I have no cards in hand. Luckily, I get Cyber Emergency, as well as I have Kaiju Slumber to get Jizuruki, and I can use Core to get Nakester to bring back my Nova. And once again, he uses his punishment to destroy it to get me another one of my fusion monsters. This allows me to do this. Just trying to get as many machine monsters onto the field for Alton to make sure that I can take him out in one hit. Luckily for me, usually I don't run Cyber Altonin, but since he was running Dogmatica, I thought it'd be good because it is a super strong monster that is not from the extra deck. And yeah, luckily it pays off, and I knock him out right here. Going into game 2 of this, he once again decides to go first, but lucky for me, he bricks. But also lucky for him, I kind of have a brick hand. Usually don't like to see Veer right off the start, unless I have a couple other Cyber Dragon monsters that aren't two Neckcasters. But I can still make Cyber Dragon Seer to attack and start whittling him down a bit. Set Galaxy Cyclone sort of as a bluff. Running Galaxy Cyclone because, like I said, he is running Dogmatica and likes punishment, as well as for other things such as Magical Musketeers with their traps, as well as the Buster Blader traps. It's a really good card. Right here, using Cyber Ferris for, and luckily I get Mission Duplicate to get to get a Union Carrier. Unfortunately, he has Ghost Mourner, so I cannot get my Galaxy Soldiers. Lucky for me, he puts Pharaohs into defense mode. Probably should have used the attack one instead of the 2 defense ones for Union Carrier. I use Cybernetic Overflow to banish and destroy those 2 monsters. Luckily, they're not classified as Destruction Sword cards, which is why he banished that, thinking that it would protect him, but it doesn't. Using Rampage to destroy Trap Trick, but he can use it to get his Prologue. Use the 2 Cyber Dragons for Nova to bring back a Cyber Dragon, and then go into Infinity to take over his 1 monster. I don't go for Elton here because I don't want to risk him having something in his hand that can stop me from winning. And so, just in case for a follow-up play, luckily he doesn't really have anything, and I can just end with Infinity. And yeah, that was week 6. This puts me at 4-2. Next week I am going up against Starfish, coach of the Bricktown Blue Eyes. So catch you for that. Bye-bye.